All right, just waiting for a few people to get in. Welcome to the stream. I don't usually do on camera lives, but I'm trying something different tonight. So I have some stuff I want to share with you guys. An update on the Major Harris Amber Alert. It was not good news in the outcome of that case. Unfortunately. Oh shoot, I'm typing in the wrong place. I've got I use a two computer setup, so I'm on the wrong keyboard. All right, so I'm gonna wait for just a few more people to come in, but I am gonna go ahead and just give a few channel updates. I shut down the Discord server. Um, I still have plans for that, but at present, I just really don't have the time to dedicate to running a Discord server the way that that one is really going to need attention, just because of like the types of in-depth discussions that I want to have there. So I did shut that down, and I might bring it up again here in the next few months once I get in a better rhythm of a few things. While we're waiting, Brian Laundrie that has Twitter and YouTube and everybody else going crazy that he was found, and that's kind of crazy. So I'll probably do a live about that maybe tomorrow or something. Um, put a one in the chat if you can hear me, because I am not sure if uh, my audio is coming through right. It was sounding okay the other night when I was on here, but then people were like, it was choppy. So put a one in the chat for me, please, if it's coming through really. Um, Brian Laundrie, though, yeah, it's crazy that people are coming up with some of these rumors that they're coming up with, that his parents planted his remains out there, and just it's wild. It's wild. Then there was the whole behavior panel thing where all of a sudden everybody who was like the behavior panel, they're body language gods. and now they don't agree with what the behavior panel said about Don Wells, and suddenly these guys are no longer professionals. They have no clue what they're doing. I found that a little, kind of odd and funny at the same time. Okay, so sound is coming through good. Just check that. Okay, 6 minutes in, might as well get started. So I did an Amber Alert video on Major Harris, a 3 year old who went missing out of Wisconsin, Milwaukee, Wisconsin area. And he was found missing because his mother was found shot to death in the backyard of a Milwaukee area home. They actually did not know that he was missing until she was identified and they went to make notification to her family. Well, that's when it was discovered that she had a 3 year old son who was unaccounted for. He wasn't with family. He was not in the area where his mother was found. And his mother, by the way, was 25-year-old Mallery Muenzenberger. Uh, so they began searching for Major. Major's father, Carlton Harris Jr., uh, drove in from West Virginia to help search for his son. And I am going to play a little bit of his his news interview during the time of the search before Major was found. I did include that in my Amber Alert video, but for some reason I could not get his audio to come up correctly, and I edited and re-uploaded that video like 3 times, and his audio just would not work out for some reason. So I just left it as it was. I believe the captions do pick up on his audio, so let me go ahead and pull that up. Matter of fact, I've got a link straight to it. But this guy, so heartbroken about his son and the prospect of finding his son and just everything that was going on. And I just truly, truly felt so bad for him. Got it in here. Here we go. So I'm just going to go ahead and play that. Let's try that again. All right, well, I guess it's not going to play for me. I had actually, yeah, it just keeps trying to download it. Not sure what's going on with that. But if we come across it in the process of, here it is, right here. And this is a little longer than the segment that I had in my Amber Alert video. This is going to be actually the full interview that he gave. I'm going to make this full screen here as soon as I. And again, this is Major Harris's father, Carlton Harris, who drove back into Milwaukee, Wisconsin from West Virginia to help find his son to actually go out on the searches for him. Okay, let me redo this because sounds like seems like I'm not getting sound on it. Okay, got that up. Get up here and share screen. And you're gonna notice a change too. Like this is early in the search, all the way back to the beginning, and he was really kind of
community. Um, just whoever
he
has
was
my
kind of
son,
praising the police officer.
what they were able to tell you.
basically, it's still an ongoing investigation. My plea is just like to the community, um, just whoever has my son, just bring him back home safely. And I want peace. You know what I'm saying? I just want my son back. I don't want no more drama or anything like that. I just want it to all be over with.
This has to be just an extremely burdensome feeling for you, Kristen, family, obviously Mallory's family.
Yes, yes.
Just take us through these emotions that you're feeling right now, especially, you drove in from West Virginia, right?
Yes, sir.
And yesterday, and obviously
Today, yeah.
police and the community out
Yeah.
searching. Just take us through some of those emotions that you're going through.
I can't explain it because every time I go look at a dumpster or my son, being somewhere like that, or just being out here, I don't know if he's okay or not. I haven't eaten or nothing like that, and I can't.
What would you like to, you know, again, tell people who see this, who hear this,
Just basically, man, if y'all have anything, if y'all know anything about my whereabouts of my son, I don't care if y'all drop him off at the bus station or wherever, just bring him home.
police able to give you, they're still investigating a lot of this, and there's still a lot.
Yes, yes, but they're doing their jobs. They're doing what they're supposed to do. But it's kind of hard when people don't communicate or cooperate with them. So that's what I'm here trying to do, and just to stay in. My main focus is to get my son back.
If they try.
So that was that was his father and his original interview, like before Major was found, and I don't know. We're going to. I'm just going to share the whole doggone thing. Y'all gotta excuse me. My first on camera live, so I might not I might not have this down pat. Plus, I'm using two computers, so all right. So that was that interview. Now, unfortunately, Major was found, um, and he is no longer with us. This is the second interview that his father gave, and his whole demeanor toward the Milwaukee Police Department was entirely different.
A father's unimaginable pain.
My son was shot in the head, a 3-year-old baby.
Carlton Harris spoke with reporters 30 minutes after learning how his 3-year-old son, Major Harris, was killed.
My plea not even to the community no more. My plea to the world. I need justice for my son.
Why do you think someone would want to do this, hurt them like this?
Evil. Evil, pure evil.
If this looks familiar to you, it's.
And honestly, I think she's right. Like, there's really not a whole lot more that you can say for someone who would do that to a kid other than they're pure evil. I mean, how can you a 3-year-old kid, man, like even if you had some kind of beef or disagreement or something going on with the child's parent to where the parent ended up, you know, you did whatever you did to them, like a kid, like what kind of person do you have to be, you know? Really, what kind of person do you have to be? Um, these are some after pictures from various websites, news agencies. This is the Milwaukee Journal Sentinel during and after. This was after he found out. And here we go during the search. During the search. I mean, and there were a lot of people out there. You can see as they're looking, they're really like trying to find this boy. Honestly, though, like when I read that the suspect had been located and that he offed himself, you know, before the officers, this was apparently the moment he found out. But when I read that he offed himself before the officers could even get to him to talk to him, I really didn't have a good feeling about it then, because especially when I read further that the child was not with him in the house that he was located at, and the child was not in the car, which was located maybe a mile away. But I so feel for this man and for that whole family. Really, I mean, that is such a major double loss. You know, he lost his child, but her family lost a daughter, sister, cousin, niece, aunt, um, plus her child. And I can tell you that the loss of a grandchild is just it's not really something. It's beyond words. In all honesty, it's beyond words. Sounds like I'm muted. I'm not sure why. Okay. This was some information that I wanted to share beforehand about the suspect, but I don't think it's considered. Basically, the guy had a record. Um, he had been arrested in 2019 on a gun charge, and the way that that transpired was police went to pull over a Kia Sedona, and the Kia Sedona wrecked into a house up there in Milwaukee, wrecked into a house, and the occupants took off running. He was one of them. They caught him, and he had a gun and I think a small amount of marijuana with him. And he made it to like his first 2 or 3 court dates. After that, he stopped coming. They issued a warrant, got him back in court. And if I can understand right, he was still on papers of some type when he ended up doing what he did to Mallery and Major. So we're not going to go into that. I think I just too close. Now, this is going to close out on this one. As a time Major's father, Carlton Harris, the one who we just saw speaking in that interview, has warrants and on a couple of things, including child support. And when I saw this headline, I was like, okay, let me see what's going on because you never know. You know, it could be that the father had some type of dealings that led up to whatever happened to Major and Mallery. So I said, let me read this and find out if there's some kind of connection here. Maybe it's people he used to deal with in the past or, some kind of whatever. But then when I started reading it, I was like, this is just so jacked up. And I'm going to read this. This is in the WisconsinRightNow.com. You can see the headline, Carlton Harris, Major's dad has child support lien wanted on warrants in 3 counties. Let me do a sound check. I think I got it. All right, it sounds pretty good. I guess it's just echoing in my headset. Okay, Carlton Harris, the father of murdered child Major Harris, has repeatedly bashed Milwaukee police in televised press conferences. But what the media haven't told you is that he's wanted on warrants in multiple cases across 3 counties for various offenses, has open charges for serious domestic abuse-related violent felony crimes, and has a child support lien through the Wisconsin Department of Children and Families. Okay. So he's got some domestic violence. He don't pay his child support. Says we thought long and hard before publicizing the open warrants and criminal charges of a murder victim's father and wouldn't do so in most cases. However, Carlton Harris has stepped out of the grieving father's role and has chosen to trash Milwaukee police. Let's look at that again. We thought long and hard before publicizing the open warrants and criminal charges of a murder victim's father. They couldn't have thought that hard about it because they just found Major deceased I think 3 days ago. So didn't think very long and hard about it. And they said they wouldn't do it in most cases. However, and here's the key phrase, Carlton has stepped out of the grieving father's role and has chosen to trash Milwaukee police. So this is really about the police having their feelings hurt. I'm gonna pull up that interview where Carlton Harris Jr. was talking about what was going on with the police during the search effort. He was not very pleased. He was vocal about it. He actually called the Milwaukee Police Department a joke. And I think that this article and the way that that is phrased, I I think the publicizing of his being wanted on warrants could have been handled better, um, because this comes across as the police crying, "You hurt my feelings. You talked about me, so we're gonna put you on blast." And in this situation, I just think it could have been handled better. If you follow true crime regularly, you may have heard of the Naomi Jones case out of Pensacola, Florida. Naomi was about 12 years old. She went missing from her home and she was later found deceased a few miles from her home. It turns out that a predator lived not far away in Alabama, basically just across the state line, had been having contact with her, and he is the person who did what he did. I'm going to cover that case as well. Um, just a refresher, I just want to put that up. But it turns out in that case that her mother had uh, a warrant. I don't remember if it was a felony or if it was a misdemeanor or, excuse me, or whatever. But the way that the way that the police handled that in that case, I think that's the way that it should be handled, especially when you're dealing with the parent of a murdered child. Because no parent should feel like, in a situation like this, I can't express displeasure or push for active activity on behalf of my child. I can't push the police to do more, to give their all, because they might put me on blast for not paying my child support. They might put me on blast for having a warrant. I don't condone. He's accused of domestic violence, but that's just an accusation at the time, at present. I don't take his side on this as far as his charges. His charges are neither here nor there. Whether it was domestic violence or it was not paying his child support or if it was outstanding traffic tickets, the manner in which it was publicized, it's not very becoming. I mean, it doesn't really scream have confidence, faith, or trust in the Milwaukee Police Department. It says basically, don't push our buttons, don't get under our skin, you know? So I just don't feel like that the way they did it was right. Um, and it's clear as day, right there in black and white, uh, he chose to trash the Milwaukee Police Department. Okay, furthermore, and then they dissed him. They went on in the article to diss him. Like, furthermore, he doesn't appear to have been very involved in his son's life. Those facts and the extremely serious and widespread nature of his warrants and charges means the public deserves to know the full story, to judge his comments against authorities, which have been widely reported in the news media, which has pushed the family's GoFundMe page. Now, I also could not find a GoFundMe page. I was looking for it. Um, I've actually looked for it a couple of times over the last few days after Major was found deceased. I just kind of assumed that the family might put up a GoFundMe to help with expenses, especially since it was both the mother and the child um, who were going to be need to be laid to rest. So I kind of thought maybe the family might have up a GoFundMe page, and I was not able to find a GoFundMe page listed either in Carlton or Major's name. I didn't check, I don't think, under. Oh, and before I go off this page, this is his charge. As you can see, something about take and drive a vehicle without consent, false imprisonment, domestic violence, domestic abuse, battery, domestic abuse, disorderly conduct, domestic abuse. So, and at least two of these domestics are misdemeanors. One is a felony. But either way, man. I mean, they could have handled that better. Um, I think they just kind of showed their true colors there, and that's one of the reasons that people don't have trust in the police. I mean, if you got to arrest the dude, arrest the dude. He's got warrants, so rightfully, yeah, you should arrest him if he's got these warrants outstanding. But to put him on blast and diss him coming from a law enforcement agency because he said something that you didn't like about the way that you were handling his son's case, that was a grieving ad, man. That man was going through it. He's out there looking in trash cans, under buildings, in rubbish piles, hoping that he doesn't find his son there. And it turns out his son was found in a storage bin behind some house, probably an abandoned house. I didn't see much detail on whose house or whether anyone lived there or didn't live there or whatever. But I mean, under those circumstances, this man's got a 3-year-old child that's missing. Maybe he didn't feel like you were doing enough. Most parents don't feel like other people are doing enough in a situation like that. Most parents don't. Um, they may or may not be vocal about it, but hey, so do you punish him for saying that? Okay. Um, I don't see GoFundMe, but I don't think this is for the burial. I see something about where is Major. Yeah, that's been shut down. All right, so they're saying that he was trying to push his family's GoFundMe. Maybe it was made in someone else's name, but I did search Carlton Harris Jr., Major Harris. I searched Mallory's name just now. I searched a few other terms, and I couldn't find a GoFundMe publicized by his family other than the one we just saw that shut down. That was that mentioned Mallory as well. Since he's literally trashing the police while being wanted by the police in counties from La Crosse to Sauk. If you're going to publicly bash the police on TV, the fact that you're currently sought by the police becomes relevant. It absolutely does not. The fact that he's wanted by police has nothing to do with the way that police should handle the case of his son who is missing in the aftermath of the murder of his son's mother, with whom the son was supposed to be at the time that she was murdered. So I don't think his comments really have anything to do with. You can't connect the two, and you can't really relate the two or try to intermingle them in any kind of way because they really don't relate. He's wanted on charges. True, that's over here. That's off over there. His son is missing. The mother is shot to death. The suspect shot his own self shot his own self to death, and his son is nowhere to be found. That's over here. That has nothing to do with that. Arrest the man and do what you gotta do, You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, don't connect the two. Don't say, hey, don't bash me while I'm looking for your son. That's basically, it's kind of like you're inferring that, I might not do my best for your son because you're talking crap about me. And I don't know. I mean, that's how I took it. I just think it's kind of jacked. I'm not going to go too much more deeply into that because, as you can see, I got some feelings about that. I really didn't like the way that they handled that. Last, let me see if I can find that one in the interview. Oh, I wrote that. Okay, I believe this is going to be it right here. And I'm going to play this and then I'm going to move on to something else. Okay.
The community to know and give them an update on what they're experiencing right here in the city of Milwaukee. So right now, I'm going to call the father, Carlton Harris, to say a few words.
Hey, how y'all doing? My plea to the community is just whoever has any knowledge of my son or like know anything, I'm tired of the tips. I'm tired of the waiting. It's been too long. It's been too long. It's just been too long. It's been too long. It's been too long, and I'm afraid. So if my son, if just please, I pray to God, y'all just bring my son, let him come home. Let me come get my son, please. I thank the city of Milwaukee for the people who helped me, who've been helping me search diligently. But at the same time, so much time has passed. I'm getting angry. I'm getting upset. And I'm tired of being humble about my son. I'm begging y'all, please, if y'all know anything about my son and his whereabouts, please contact me and contact my family. I'm tired of being humble, bro. I'm tired of being humble, man. This shit been going on too long. Going on too long, man. Basically, they told me the same thing they're telling everyone else. I'm like trying to stay. I contact them more than they contact me. Do I feel like they're doing their jobs? Hell no, I don't. I don't. There's no, I ain't seen no dogs out here, but I saw dogs.
And again, folks, this interview right here was done before major spotting was found.
Was on the news. I've been out here walking, searching for my son. I have seen no dogs. They ain't went through no water or no nothing. They ain't searched no lakes, no nothing. I'm not understanding that. How can you look for somebody and you not search lakes and stuff like that. It's a 3-year-old little boy. I'm not understanding any of this. The Milwaukee Police Department is a joke, period.
Can you speak at all about why Mallery and Major might have been in Milwaukee?
I don't know. Like I said, I wasn't talking to his mom. I wasn't talking to his mom like that. I wasn't in her personal life. I don't know what she had going on, and I don't even want to speak about her. May she rest in peace. That's still my son's mother, and I love her. But my main focus right now is finding our child, which I know where she want my son. She want my son with me. So that's what's important. My son, that's it. I'm not going to stand here and talk about why she was here or what happened. I'm not going to get into any of that. It's about my son.
Do you think that there is someone out there that knows something that could solve this thing?
I think it's a lot of people who know. And I think it's a lot of people who are not stepping forward, who not coming forward. I think it's a lot of people who just keep quiet because they don't want to communicate with the police department here. Our people don't have no faith in the police department here. That's the issue. There's no faith in the police department.
Do you think a reward would make a difference if someone offered a reward?
Whatever we could do. Whatever we could do.
So understanding that you were in, you live in West Virginia?
Yes, I drove here from West Virginia, Martinsburg, West Virginia.
What was it like to, obviously not be here when this is all happening and get that phone call at home there in West Virginia and then have to come here?
I haven't slept. I ain't really been eating. And I still can't sleep. It ain't no rest. I mean, how would anybody feel? Y'all got kids? How y'all feel? I'll wait. Somebody tell me how I'm supposed to feel because I don't know. How I'm supposed to feel? Can y'all tell me that?
What would you say to anybody who has information about your son?
What I've been saying since I've been standing here, please. I pray to God he's safe and bring him home safe. Please bring him home safe. That's my plea. That's all. That's my plea.
Can you tell us a little bit more about Major?
Tell him about my son. My son was happy, energetic. That's my youngest child, and the love of my life. Period. That was my joy. That was my joy, and everybody standing behind me know that. That was my joy. So regardless of what people got to say in the media, I don't care. Everybody know that was my heart. And it still is. So I'm asking the community and I'm asking the people to please help me find my son.
How do you feel about the community's response to this whole situation?
Actually, the people, the community, they have been helping me. Because a lot of stuff, I don't know my way around Milwaukee. So a lot of stuff that like places in different locations, I wouldn't know if it wasn't for the people in Milwaukee. So I can honestly say that's who's working on this case. I feel like that's who's working on my son's case. I feel like the community care. But I also feel like that this police department, they're negligent. They could have did more. Can't nobody tell me they couldn't have.
Did they tell you that they were searching in Dodge County, Washington County? Did they tell you any of that?
No, they haven't. I saw on the news one morning they had dogs galloping through the grass. I don't know where y'all got that footage from because I ain't seen a dog gallop through the grass since I've been here.
Have they told you what was found in the vehicle?
No.
Yeah, they told me what was found in the vehicle.
Anything of Major's? Can you say?
They said they found blood in the vehicle. They took my DNA. And now I'm awaiting to see if the blood matches.
Any plans today to search? You mentioned Washington
Park.
Okay.
And other areas, really search Milwaukee.
Did you guys get a tip that Washington Park was where the little boy was? Or?
A lot of people have been saying it, and like my advocate, he been on top of everything. So Like I said, we're gonna try to search Washington Park and search wherever else we have to, and follow certain tips that we feel like that we basically we finna do what the police supposed to be doing. What they doing, I'm not gonna say they not, but I'm just saying, I'm just upset. I don't know.
But you did meet with them, right? The police?
Yes, I did.
Yeah. Was that just to give them your DNA?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, okay. So they called you there to ask you for that, but not to share. Yeah.
They briefed me yesterday morning for a period of time. That's when I found out about the blood in the truck. So,
But they didn't tell you if Major was at the launch tonight at any point.
All right. Thank y'all for questioning. We got Danielle Harris, the auntie. She wants to say a few words to the public.
So, yeah, that's crazy. I really feel bad for that family. I feel so bad about Major being found the way that he was, his mother being found the way that she was. That's just, that's a sad and tragic set of events just across the board for her family and for all of Major's family. Um, man, these Amber Alerts, these follow-ups on these cases for these kids, man, it's heavy. And we just got to do better as a society, as people. Evil exists, but Jesus. I don't know. Maybe we just all need to pray a little more. And that's the update on Major Harris's Amber Alert. Stay tuned. I am going to do a live, and we're going to go over Isabella. I was going to do a recorded video for her part 2, but days 2 and 3 saw a lot of activity, and they kind of overlap a little bit. There was some information that I really couldn't verify if it came from day 2 or from day 3. So I'm gonna do a live, and I'm probably gonna do day 2, 3, and day 4 together because those were really the first 4 days of the search for Isabella Kalua were the most active. As far as I'm concerned, had the most information come forward. And so stay tuned. Let me get this shut down. Let me get the next one set up. We'll come back. We'll talk about Isabella.